video contains moving VR images. If you are sensitive to such content, as we're going to have a good little chat, just put this on in the background and listen to our conversation. Hello, good evening and welcome to Hlspwns World YouTube channel. So you find us in American Truck Simulator, and for once I'm not going to have me on the camera because tonight I felt there's actually no point. I'm sat here with a VR headset on, so you can't really see my face properly. I am sat here with my Logitech G27, but we are in our American truck. And what I thought I'd do, as you can see in our chunky seat there, I'd like you to jump aboard with me and come along for a ride, and we'll have a chat about the Valve Index and other things and bits and pieces on the channel. It might be some rambling, some bit of madness, but you know, let's join up and let's go for a road trip. So what we need to do is get the old engine fired up. So this is a bit of an older truck than the one I had earlier. And what we're going to do, we are driving from Los Angeles, LA, and we are going all the way over into, I forgot where we're going to already. Let's just have a quick look. We are going to Phoenix, Arizona, it says up there. Okay, let's get back in the truck. Right, we're going to get into gear, into first. We'll start moving off. I didn't even look at what we're transporting, but oh well, let's not worry about that for now. And we are going off at 3:16 AM. Oh no, 3:16 AM. Have I got the lights on? Let's have a look at that. No, we've got our lights on now. We've got to start indicating. I remember that we drive on the right hand side of the road. Looking pretty clear. I don't think anybody's really up at this time of day, or night I should say. I'm just going to get around this corner very steadily. Once we get out onto the highway, and we can start our conversation. This is so cool in VR. I have tried this a couple of times, but oh, we're on green. Let's go. So indicate. Cheers. Let's get through this junction. Avoiding the parked cars. We're going to go straight up ahead on the street. We're coming up to. That's red. Are we red? Are we green? No, we're green. We go. Gonna go. Right. So our max speed here is 30 miles an hour, already clocking 32. When I get a chance, I'm going to move some of the hood around in here. I wanted to do that tonight, but I didn't have time. And that is one of my problems with the channel. Quite often, I'm limited on time. Really, guys and girls out there, thank you for everyone who's subscribed and does actually watch, and I really do want to bring you more content, but like anything in life, I've got a day job, I've got a family, 2 kids I look after, and I am trying to get fit again at the minute because I've put some timber on over Christmas, so I'm hitting the gym. I'm trying to be more active of an evening, and by the time I sit down and come to record these videos, it's normally already pretty late at night, so that does quite limit the time I've got to record and edit. Now everyone on YouTube will say if you want to do better on YouTube, you've got to put all your heart and life into it, but my problem is when I do that, I end up doing 20-hour days, and it becomes a very vicious circle where I get tired and cranky, and to be honest, it is not good for your health. So I'm going to try as best as I can to keep on top of things, and I'll get content out when I can. I did say originally in one of some of my last videos or some while ago, I'd be doing content on a Saturday and a Wednesday. Well, I find it difficult to always maintain those days, so I'm still going to be doing content sometime midweek and sometime at the weekend, but if it's not always Wednesday or a Saturday, it will be around the middle of the week or the end of the week. Nice motor, thinks I'm red. This truck seems quite low. I'm having to duck down to actually see the lights here. I didn't have to do in the other truck I had earlier. Oh, let's go. Right, we are trying to pull away in 6th gear, but gears are quite high in this. Oh, we've got to do a left turn in a minute, so we're going to come over. Right, I'm going to indicate now. Move over behind this Prius. Don't like Priuses. Really not a fan of them at all. Meant to be an eco car, and almost every Prius I've come across on the road, oh, we should be going here, tries to race you. And I'm not inventing that, I'm not inventing races, but it's absolutely true. They do try and race you. Right, we've got to wait for this turn to go green. Oh, that's a nice Mustang. Lovely. Come on, I'm gonna go. We'll just wait. As soon as we're out on the highway, guys, we'll start the chat about the valve index. Let's go. Right, we're in 4th. That should be pretty good to get us going. Get around this corner. Oh, there's the police. Hello, officer. Oh, there's a lady as well. Not that's anything new or nothing like that. Right, let's get into 7th. Let's get around this corner. Tight. Looks like we just got standard cargo on the back. You can feel the rumble through the force feedback, and it's terrible when you do that, because if you've ever drove a big truck in real life, which I haven't, but back in my valeting and driving days, we used to have 7.5 ton trucks. And I know that's really small for someone who drives a proper articulated lorry, but trust me, when you've only driven a car prior to a 7.5 ton truck, you are going to shat yourself, especially when you're going down narrow roads and the back is banging and trunking and you're thinking, oh my god, what have I just crushed or broke? Right, we're going to go straight up the hill here. Yep, sorry, that's some of my previous careers back there, but once you know, you've got air brakes and stuff, and you've got trucks that are difficult to get into reverse gear. You go into housing estates where you have to deliver said 7.5 ton trucks, and you get stuck because some knobhead's parked. Very difficult. In Tamworth, yes, you are that knobhead, and you have to reverse a 7.5 ton truck back for a housing estate. They are not the best days of your life, trust me. Right, let's drop a gear there. Get up this hill and get round. I actually thought we'd be out of the built up area onto the highways by now, but not yet. Where are we going up here? We're going to be doing a right. Fairly big load. Right, we need to indicate and we need to get ready to brake. Right, anything's coming, I'm going straight for it. Let's drop it a gear. Ooh, the sprite shining off that. Yeah, nice light. Right, full power. There we go. So we'll get the old indicator on, get on the highway or the freeway or whatever we call it in the US of A. Sorry, American viewers, really do not know what you call your motorway, bypass, interstate, whatever you come up with. Right, how many gears has this got? 10. Alright, we're in 10th. Speed's 55, there is a cruise control, but I can't remember what button I set for it. Right, so we are rolling on our way to the Arizona desert, you could say. Right, guys, girls, subscribers, people of the internet, I wanted to talk about the Valve Index and VR in general. Now, I currently own the Oculus Rift, that's what we're playing on at the moment, and I really am excited for the Valve Index. I was very much almost on thinking of pre-ordering the Valve Index, and I didn't for a couple of reasons, and I just wanted to go through those with you. First of all, when I went onto Steam at the 0 hour countdown clock and saw the price, I was like, whoa, that is nearly £1,000 to get an upgrade to VR. That is a lot of money, especially when I've got VR at the moment. And yeah, it's not absolutely pin sharp, but I've got to say, American Truck Simulator looks beautiful. I mean, I've lowered the settings just a little bit to try and get the frame rate up a bit, but it's more than adequate. I'm sat inside a big American truck, you're on the seat at the side of me, and we're heading down the freeway at 5 o'clock in the morning nearly, chatting about VR. So the price was a big issue, not a barrier. I mean, I could afford to pay it, but not at the moment. And the reason being, I wanted to upgrade my CPU before I think about upgrading VR. Now, why would I want to do that? Because currently I've got a Ryzen 7 processor. It's 1700X, 8 core, 16 thread CPU, and it's currently overclocked to 3.9 GHz. Now, that is the first gen Ryzen CPU, and when it came out, its multi-threaded performance was brilliant, really good. Good for recording, playing, using VR, streaming, all that business and shabazz. At the time, Intel only had a 4-core, 8-thread CPU, and it's, as we've saw, Intel has very quickly upped their game, and now with the 9900K, they also have 8-core, 16-thread CPU. But for myself, because I got a first-gen Ryzen, the multi-threaded core performance is good, but the single-core performance is not the best. And that does impact some of the games. I was in the wrong gear there. In some VR titles, I've actually noticed, sorry, I'll rephrase that. In some PC titles, even not in VR, I will notice, for example, racing games, that in certain areas of the track, you will see a physical drop in frame rate. When there's a lot of cars, a lot of people, a lot of dense scenery, it seems to knock the actual frame rate down somewhat, and that's just a single core performance. Even though you've got games that use the multi-threaded performance, it still gets a drop. Now, AMD are bringing out the Ryzen or Zen 2 or the Ryzen 3000 series, and that's going to be announced, I think, on the 28th of May. Oh, just want to say, look at the sun coming up over there. That looks really good in this cracking. So on the 29th of May, we're going to get the Zen 2 or the Ryzen 3000 series. I want to upgrade to that processor. Now, the core count is really going to be jumping up. We're going to see CPUs with 12 cores and 16 cores. That's going to be probably 24 threads or 32 threads. Now, you might ask, why on earth do you need a CPU that powerful in a desktop gaming machine? Well, simply that. At the minute, I'm also looking at upgrading my display, because I play on a Panasonic Plasma TV that's 1080p, At the time that TV come out, I think, oh God, it's got to be at 8 years old. It was one of the best TV on the market. The black levels are very deep. It's brilliant with Blu-rays, but everyone's moved on. The world has moved forward, and now we are at 4K. And so when I do these videos and, you know, produce this stuff for the channel, I'm having to upscale 1080p to 2K. And why 2K? Because why 2K? 2K because that is 1440p really is the average gamer's resolution currently. So that takes me a lot of time. You're talking me rendering a video overnight to bring to you the next day. Now if I had a display where I could record at 1440p, I don't have to do any upscaling, and the video natively would look better than me actually upscaling it. So there's two purchases I was already looking at. Now the TVs, the 2019 TVs, have HDMI 2.1, and that's going to mean that the frames or hertz it runs at is going to be a lot higher than the older generation of TVs. So 4K, we're talking I think 120 frames per second. I have to double check that on the manufacturers. 2K, definitely 120 frames per second. What 1080p would be running at, I'm not sure, but that is really going to work out for me. That's going to save me so much time in rendering. I'll be able to produce videos so much quicker. And as it is nearly 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to knock our headlights off now. We don't need them. The sun's coming up. So with a Ryzen 3000 series that I want to get, that's I'm taking a guess, a £500 chip, maybe a bit less. We don't know, depends on the variety that we go for. And then a TV, oh, it's going to be silly money. So the VR, the Valve Index on top of that, I just at the minute I can't be paying out for all that. Another point I wanted to bring about the Valve Index, and something I wanted to raise, because I think a lot of people are getting caught up in the numbers with the Valve Index. Obviously it does 90 frames per second as standard. It also has 120 frames per second mode. Oh, look at that, nice Subaru. I didn't know they got Subarus in here. The Americans have got lovely Subarus and an open top Mustang following behind. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the cars. I am a bit of a Scooby fan, and I think it's a shame that they don't continue currently making them. But anyway, back on track. The Valve Index, everyone's got caught up in the frame rate. The first VR headset to offer 120 frames per second. Now, as we know with gaming monitors, the higher the frame rate, the smoother, the better it is, the better experience it is. And obviously monitors, we're talking 144 Hz or 144 frames. But there's a big caveat with the Valve Index, and I wanted to raise this. And this is the reason we are playing American Truck Simulator. To drive a VR headset at 120 frames per second is going to take one hell of a smoky system. And I mean one hell of a smoky system. Now you could be saying, we don't know that yet, it hasn't been released and nobody has got the headset yet. But look at it like this. We're currently using an Oculus Rift. I cannot push this game at 90 frames per second on max settings, and my GPU is a single RTX 2080 Ti. Now if I got the Valve Index and I tried to push this at 120 frames per second, not a hope in hell. Absolutely no chance of that happening. So So what we're talking, to get those sort of frame rates, I'm surmising you might need 2 RTX 2080 Ti's, you might need an RTX 2080 Ti and a 2080 or a 2070. You're definitely going to have to jewel up on the cards, I think, to get anywhere near that frame rate. So if your GPU's not quite up to it, how can you achieve that frame rate? You're going to have to lower the graphical settings. Now, obviously, with the new VR headsets, we are getting higher resolutions and better clarity and a much clearer headsets. Now, will that trade-off payoff work? Because although you'd be lowering the graphical settings, would the higher resolution and clearer images compensate for that? That's something we don't know until the headset comes out, and it's really, to be honest, something the early adopters are going to find out for us. But the Valve Index obviously has got the new controllers. Everyone knows them as the Knuckles, but I forgot what they're calling them. And it does have per finger tracking, and it also has pressure sensitivity. So I think, oh bloody hell, we can get 75 on here. Need to get our foot down. Normally, sorry, on the other truck, oh, right, we've got to get weighed. Where is the weigh station? Right here, we better put it. Okay, let's just get this sorted out before we carry on about the controllers. Oh, looks like there's a queue. Yep, alright, he's gone, so we can get straight in. Right, let's just put the air brakes on. Right, we're on the parts. Right, let's just get this done. Thank you for your cooperation. Have a safe journey. Thank you. Air brake off. Into gear. Let's get going. What I think's cool about American Truck Simulator, the police are of the area that you travel to, so that all the liveries and everything change. Right. We've got to get power on, so we're going to be going uphill. Start indicating. Clear. Come on, uphill. So where were we? We were talking about the controllers. To me, that's one of the most exciting things about the headset. I mean, don't get me wrong, the higher frame rate, the clarity, the much clearer display, that's all something to get excited about. But the controllers really are the experience of VR, really. And if the controls are better, if you can manipulate and immerse and how you interact with your environment, if that is even better, then that is something that to me can only make things even better going forward. And another thing that I wouldn't say is stopped me thinking about buying or put me off, it's the fact that Valve are going to release 3 brand new VR titles, and they're actually launching the headset without announcing any of the titles yet. Whether before the first headsets actually roll out they will announce what the titles are, I don't know, but obviously everyone's hoping one of those is, say, Portal 3 or Half-Life 3. I was way before I got back into PC gaming. Oh shit, we're running out of fuel. Yep, that is a problem. And we've got an hour and 22 minutes to go. But oh, is this a fuel stop? Let's pull in here. Let's have a look. I know it's like a bed and rest area, but come on, we've got to sell fuel here, I would have thought. Rest area, trading point, parking, exit. Rest area. No. Come on, don't tell me it doesn't do fuel. Retail area. I'll show I've gone the other way. Oh, come on, let's just keep going. Oh, it's meant to give way here. Clear. Let's go. Put it into 7th. Come on. Can it go in? We need to get fuel. Jeez, I've never run out of fuel in this. This could actually go very, very wrong. Okay, come on. And what we'll have to do, we'll get up to like a cruising speed. So I get up to about 16, we'll keep it there. So anyway, where was I? We could keep going off on a tangent. As we've not been told what games are going to be released with it yet, I'm in no rush to go out and buy it. I mean, now for the channel, don't get me wrong, if you get the technology early, it's going to bring views to your channel, because at that point in time, everybody's going to be searching for the Valve Index, and that's how YouTube works. But at the minute, we are buried in the belly of YouTube. I've noticed that even though we got nearly 200 subs, there's only a low percentage of the subs that regularly watch the videos. Most of the videos are being watched by new people, so thank you very much for that. But I feel if, you know, we would get over the 1,000 subscribers, over the how many 100 hours watch time, we would be up there, but my videos, I should say, would be suggested a lot more frequently, and we get a lot more popular quickly. Are we coming off on this bit? No. That's the curvy bit there, we're coming off at this bit here. So, 12 minutes, we might actually bloody get there before we run out of fuel. This might be a miracle. One more coast it down the hill, save some fuel. We're going uphill now. Let's get our foot down, indicator on. So it's really quiet around here. Right, coming off here. Indicator on. Yeah, we're nearly there. I think we're going to be alright. Stop sign, stop. Right, drop the gear. Let's get the air brake on. Oh, we're right. We're driving on the right, aren't we? So we pretty much can go. So, come on, get going, get going. Make sure we don't knock this bloody sign down. Try that. A bit further, that's the old shops. Okay, where's the entrance? Alright, what are we at? Turned in. Hello, you alright, Mr. Man there? Deliveries only, load and unload area. Alright, Chief, how you doing? Come on, move forward. Right, push enter. Whoa, they need to sort this bit out in the VR because that's just trippy. I'm going to play it safe because otherwise we're going to be here all night with me trying to park the truck and we're nearly run out of fuel. So, nice easy one for us. We're going to pull straight in. I'm going to get it as close to the fence as we can. The trucker. Oh, watch the mirror. Yeah, it's close. Alright, there we go. Air brakes on. T to drop the trailer. Lowering the legs, detaching cables, unlocking, and we have completed. Excellent. Pretty good drive that was. Brilliant. So, in conclusion, I just want to go back over the valve index. If you are thinking about getting it, you've already ordered it and you know it's on the way, or like I say, thinking about getting it, please don't get caught up in the figures and be disappointed. Please be aware that I think, run it at 120 Hz, you're really going to have at least the dual GPU system. I can't say. I've got a single RTX 2080 Ti. And Oculus Rift cannot push the games at 90 Hz at full settings. So how on earth can you even do it at 120 Hz on the Valve Index? Unless they've got some trickery going on with the software, who knows? But please bear that in mind. I will hopefully in the future be investing in the Valve Index. And maybe by the time I come round to getting it, it might be even cheaper anyway. Right, thank you very much for watching. I've enjoyed this little ride along. So we've done our trip to Arizona. Thanks for watching. I will see you very soon in the next one. Peace out.